Welcome to the Midlife Pilot Podcast. We are glad you're with us. What is it like to become a pilot in your 40s and 50s? The challenges are unique for those of us in midlife, but so are the rewards. Hosts Ben, Brian, and Ted talk learning to fly, growing as pilots, and the joy of flying to destinations. The purpose of the podcast is not to teach, but to share knowledge and experiences of being a midlife pilot. Join the Midlife Pilot community and listen in every week. We are not CFIs or particularly intelligent, so if you want to learn how to fly, talk to anyone else other than the hosts of a podcast. Even this intro was too challenging for us, and we used a robot to do it. Okay, checklists are complete. Let's get the show started.
Hello and welcome to episode 158 of the Midlife Pilot Podcast, where we share the experiences and challenges of flying in midlife. This episode, we're going to talk a little bit about Hangar Hell, as it were. With me, my name is Ben. I am based in the metro Atlanta area, where it is damp and cold and feels a lot like Portland. Joining me tonight, as always, my friend and heart of Music Row. It's Brian in Nashville. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Glad to be here and glad to have our friend Mark here with us, which I know we'll hear from soon.
Yes, we will. Joining us as well from the Beervana. It's also known as Portlandia, and other people call it Portland. It's our sport pilot friend, Ted. Good evening, sir.
Hey, glad to be here. Yeah.
Awesome. And also, special guest tonight, N-GEEK, also known as Mark, joining us from, I believe it's referred to as the Queen City. Am I correct?
It is in fact referred to as the Queen City. Charlotte.
North Carolina.
Yes, correct.
Very, very cool. How you guys been doing? Everything good? Anything exciting? I think Mark has some big news before we get into recent flying experiences. I wanted to maybe check in with him. He's got a subtitle for those of you that are just listening to the podcast. He says that he has made some questionable financial decisions. Can you expand on that a little bit more?
Yeah, I finally picked an airplane to build, and I signed the contract for it today. So
whoa,
that is happening. I picked a two-seat retract airplane that is built out of the Czech Republic. And so around about May or June, I will be spending about a month in about an hour east of Prague working on this airplane. And then we're expecting the delivery sometime in October, November timeframe.
That is fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So like Prague is one of my top, is at the top of my bucket list cities to visit. You're going to spend a month over there, correct?
Yep. Seen none of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Inside of a hangar. Yeah.
Will you be going over there solo, or are you going to?
No, I'm going to, so the plan for me is to retire in March. Okay. And then after that, I will be trying as hard as possible to spend as much time as possible with the A&P of our airplane, because he would like me to apprentice to go towards my A&P. So I will be basically spending time with him working on that. And then my wife will come. We will plan the trip for whenever the appropriate time is, and we'll both go over there. She may go over for less time than me. She may go back earlier.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the airplane?
Yeah, you haven't even said what it is. You haven't said where it is yet. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is a TL Sparker. It is a two-seat bubble canopy retractable, mostly composite. It's a composite airframe. Has made of carbon fiber and Kevlar wrapped around the pilot, the passenger compartment.
Yeah, so it's a low wing, and it has it has side sticks, right?
Correct, side sticks, and it will do about 175 knots on 8 gallons an hour. So
yes.
And what's going to be powering it?
Rotax 916.
Nice.
With the white valve covers, I believe.
Yes, grayish
color. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, grayish.
Yeah. And Checkmate Barry is asking, he was guessing it was the Risen. So why not the Risen?
So there is the intention for the airplane is to travel. And the Risen just doesn't have enough baggage space. It doesn't have enough space for me to put stuff. It has officially it has the same weight limit, but there's no way to fit that much weight into that tiny of a space. Yeah. So I would love the Risen, love to be doing 200 knots. But it is a sports car, that airplane, and you can't take anything with you.
You can pack a credit card. That's right. That's about the space it has. Yeah.
Meanwhile, this airplane has 24 cubic feet of cargo space, which is more cargo space than my compact SUV has. So it's my compact SUV has 19 cubic feet of cargo space. So it's got some space to put stuff. It's got limited weight, but it's got space to put stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, 75 pounds is your weight limit?
75 pounds. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
While you've been talking, I've been looking this thing up, and this can't be real. It says it cruises at 175 to 180 knots.
That's probably a bit of a sales exaggeration. I'm assuming that the actual cruise speed will be closer to like 160 knots. There's a guy. There's a guy. Yeah, I know. There's a guy that I've been talking with who built one, who lives in Statesville. And so I've been chit-chatting with him about his testing and what sort of cruise speeds he gets. And I'm kind of assuming, 160 at, 10,000 feet type speed, and maybe 170 at 15,000 feet. So we'll see how that goes. But
it says it has a range of 800 miles. It has a landing distance of 450 feet.
One of the things about being experimental is that I will do phase 1 testing, and then I write the POH.
Yeah.
So
this is so exciting, man. This is just wild. I mean, what I like is how you made it. You have such a brilliant way of melding dire pragmatism with absolute lunacy. It's an incredible skill and ability. It's like, this is the most practical, like there's a little bit more room to put a slightly larger suitcase in the back. Therefore, I'm going to Prague for a month. Like this is.
So wait a minute. How will that work? You're going to go over there and work on it for a month. And then they're going to disassemble it, send it over here, or will they fly it over here?
No, they'll disassemble it, stick it in a container, charge me $6,000 to ship it. I'll pay them, and then they bring it into South Carolina, in Charleston, South Carolina, and then I will go down there and help reassemble it.
You're going to get rounded up by some sort of border security or something. You're gonna be like the guy, like, why is this guy at the port every day with binoculars? Who is this guy?
He's going to be visited by the or one of the agencies, DEA.
So here's the thing: how many spreadsheets were involved to make this decision?
Many. I don't know. I haven't actually counted, but many. There were,
because there's the one that has a point ranking between that and the other plane. There is a comparison of several planes at various altitudes, which shows how a Comanche compares modern engine with a turbo to a classic Comanche on how they perform at different altitudes.
A non-trivial part of my ego in this is I have to be faster than the Comanche. I have to be faster than the Comanche.
And you're burning less gas.
Yes.
Hey, so now let's talk avionics, Mark. Are you going to have any avionics in it?
It's going to be RNAV only. I had an option to put an ILS in it, but it adds weight and complexity, and I probably would never use it. So it's
more antennas sticking out.
Yes, and the guy that I talked to, who has one, regrets the decision to put the ILS in. He's like, this is just totally unnecessary. So
you're going with Garmin or Avidyne or somebody else?
That Garmin 3 Garmin G3X screens in it, plus a GNC 255. I forget what the GPS that has the is 355. Yeah, it's 355. GNC 355, GFC 500 autopilot. Yes. And the part and a non-trivial and another part of this that I actually really like is cup holders. There's cup holders.
Okay.
Oh man, this thing is going to be amazing. I can't. This is just totally out of control. I love it. So when you signed the contract today, how did it feel?
Frightening, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I have just committed myself to a large sum of money that, it's the most I've spent on anything.
Yeah.
In my life.
Well, you've earned it. You have earned it.
Yeah. Except a house. I mean.
Nope.
Oh no. Oh great. You live in cost of living area. Oh my.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah. Oh man.
No, let me tell you who reminded me of this. My wife.
Yeah. You had to know that one was coming.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're not I guess the Rotax AD thing or SB thing, whatever's going on with the camshafts is not going to be a factor.
I certainly hope not. It is a question that was raised, and they said they won't know for sure until they actually order my engine. So
it's just like, can you pick one that's get one from the,
yeah. The thing about the Rotaxes is like they're a whole lot more available than the Lycomings and Continentals.
Yes,
they're just a whole lot more available. So I'm really not worried about it. But that's a bridge you have to cross when we get to it.
So what's going to be the total build time?
They advertise that it's going to take 7 months. The guy I talked to, it took him 14 months. So we'll see. And I asked about that. They said no, they're back to their normal. He had some extenuating circumstances.
Now, you were comparing this to kind of your biggest, closest alternative was the Sling.
Yes.
The Sling TSI, 4-seater, also a low wing.
Yes.
So more space.
Yes.
A little slower.
Yes. That was, the ego jumped in there. But the other part that I didn't like about the Sling TSI is I got a bunch of people. I joined the Sling Discord, the Sling TSI Discord, and I asked them to send me their weight and balance sheets. And I started tinkering with them. I loaded them into Garmin Pilot and started tinkering with them. And effectively, it is a 3-seat airplane. That 4th seat is decoration. There is a configuration in which you can put a 4th person in there, but then you have this really odd scenario where if you can't take any baggage because the Sling is really, really aft heavy. So, and to counteract the aft heaviness, the fuel is forward of the CG. So as you use fuel, the CG moves backwards. And you can get into a situation where you consume too much fuel and the CG, you're out of CG and can't land. And that scared the crap out of me. I'm like, that just scared the crap out of me. So
so it goes from being, oh wow, I go from a 2-seat airplane to a 4-seat airplane. Now it's like, well, it's a 2-seat to a 3-seat. And
and there is certainly advantage to having the extra seats. But one of the things that my wife enjoys in our current airplane is she almost always gets in the back seat and takes up both seats. I don't think she can do that in the Sling because it's so aft heavy. I don't think that that's a possibility for her.
Well,
and that influenced the decision.
Yeah. Now we were being asked to remind them what the plane is. It's a TL Sparker. So you can go look those up.
Can we call it the TJ Hooker?
I've explained that to a lot of people.
The William Shatner?
Yeah.
TL Sparker. I had a question about. the other thing for your wife that's great is the side stick, right? Because it's like there's no stick in the way. Like,
Yeah.
how comfortable is that? Yeah.
Yeah. And heated seats. Heated seats.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
This is gonna be great. Once you get this done, Mark, you're just gonna be. You're gonna turn into a proxy of Ted. You know, where it's. But you're gonna be a version of Ted that can be like, "Hey, Ted, do you want to get lunch later?"
Yeah.
He's flying only in the north just so we can use those heated seats. He's going to fly up northern Alaska in the summertime.
Well, I can actually bring it down and fly it at 4 gallons an hour if I want to. I can't imagine a scenario in which I'd want that, but it's possible.
Very good.
Now, Wendy says, "Did you get the money sweats, like meat sweats, but less chewy?"
Yes. Yes. I was sweating when I signed that contract. 100%.
Well, the one good thing about being in midlife, you know, is in terms of the way I look at any kind of debt, it's like, what? I mean, is this really going to, whatever. Are they ever going to get it? I don't know. I doubt it.
Checkmate Barry is suggesting a tail number. I don't know.
That tail number is reserved. I have it. That is mine. That is my tail number.
So that is November 633K. If
you have it?
That differently,
I have that.
It's N-GEEK.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, that's.
Is that what it's going to be?
That's what it's going to be.
I don't understand. You were explaining it, Ted. Help.
Look at 633K. It says geek.
Oh, I got it now.
Yeah. I don't think that Checkmate Barry knew that you had that, but
no, I mentioned it in a previous live stream.
Okay,
got it.
Well, he's smart, so he probably remembered that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we're very excited for you, Mark. I can't wait to go for a ride in it. Go ahead, Brian.
I have a perfect segue.
Please.
Hey, Mark, where the hell are you putting this plane?
That is a difficult question. And I actually wrote a rant. I wrote a rant on this particular topic because it is such, oh God, finding a hangar is such a pain in the ass. I have been on a hangar wait list for a long time, but yeah. Do we want to go through the normal routines before I keep going?
Yeah, we're gonna hit a few of our routine moments here so that we can dig into this. But I do love that this opened up with the surprise of your aircraft, but you don't have a place to put it. Maybe you can get a hangar in Prague. I don't know. But we're gonna get to this. In the meantime, we'll just knock out a couple of things real quick. Our little housekeeping. Belly scrub. You guys know the drill. You can join our Patreon community for Discord access. Lots of exclusive content. 10% supports Freedom Aviation Network's anti-human trafficking efforts. And for everything Midlife Pilot Podcast, feedback, merch, and more, visit midlifepilotpodcast.com. And Ted, what's happening on the Patreon and Discord universes?
Yeah, I want to welcome our new people in Patreon. We've got a handful this week at the Hershey Bar level. That is Casey M, Patrick B, Mitch, and Shaw. I think we saw Shaw rolling into Discord today even. So
thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Accomplishments-wise, it seemed a little light, but some cool things. Anne had an hour milestone, and over the weekend she took the LSRI class. We haven't heard back, but I assume it went well because that's a pretty easy class to take. And Chuck passed his sport pilot check ride.
Congratulations,
he was at
Chuck.
Oshkosh this summer hanging out with us and other people, and he had 3 hours logged at that time. So
that's awesome.
It's cool to go from there. Yeah. The other one that I thought we were going to cover earlier and haven't is somebody passed a bunch of written tests.
Yeah, I'm getting all Trent Deers, whatever the guy's name is on. I'm getting all of that. Yeah. So I think the last week I had done the instrument written. I can't remember if I had done this by last week or not, but I took the IGI instrument ground and today got the fundamentals of instruction done. So that is 3 written tests in 2 weeks. So technically, even though I haven't gone through the FSDO yet and applied for my card, I I hesitate to even say this because it's kind of not real, but it is. I'm the first of us to achieve any sort of an instructor rating because like I can't teach basic ground or like sort of private pilot ground, but I can teach instrument ground.
Why did you do that first? Just because that's what you're studying?
Yeah, just the way it worked out because I'm pursuing my instrument right now. By the way, I do have my Czech ride scheduled. We'll keep that a secret for now, but it's not, I mean, it's not immediate, but you have to book it pretty far out around here at least. So it is booked. And so a bunch of that's going to be coming up. But since I did it's sort of like, again, we've talked about this. It's the trip, fall, succeed method. It's like I took the instrument written because I had to, because I'm trying to get my instrument rating. And then of course everybody says, well, you should go ahead and take your instrument ground test. It's basically the same test, but for a few helicopter questions. So you might as well do that. And so you go, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll do that. And then you do that. And it's like, well, what if I take the fundamentals of instruction that kind of freezes that in place and then kind of activates that in a way for now. So if anybody wants really, really mediocre, untested, likely massively incorrect ground instruction, hit me up. And
So I just wanted to point it out for our audiences, both in the live chat and our audio audience. 3 months ago, this young man was calling me once or twice a week, asking me, "What the hell does this mean in instrument? What do they want? Why do they want me to learn this stuff in instrument? Why?" And I was happy to answer his questions. And now that very same guy is going to be teaching people.
That is a backhanded endorsement.
Yeah.
Well, this is the dumbest instrument student I've ever seen. And he's now an instructor. Yeah. Overnight.
He's now an instructor. That's,
like everybody went to school with like that one guy that somehow, is a CEO of a bank now or something. And you're like, that guy couldn't even tie his shoes, Yeah. But, so then the reason why I did the IGI is just because it's there for the taking. Then FOI because it kind of locks it in and activates. And then commercial will be next. And then you do the AGI relative to that. And the AGI kind of encompasses all these other things. So anyway, all that to be said, I do find it funny that I'll just say this. You guys know how much trouble I had learning how to land in private training. I was very frustrated with learning how to land. I was very frustrated in my instrument ground class. I had a lot of trouble. Still probably would if I started over again. I don't know. But I just have this weird tendency where if I just don't do well at something, I will overcompensate wildly. To make sure that I don't ever feel like that again, at least in this particular arena again. So when you guys see me still going out, and trying to figure out how to get my tire exactly in the middle of the center line, that's where all of that comes. And I don't know what that's about. It's not really. I guess it's spite. It's probably spite. But anyway.
Okay. Well,
I want to say. Go ahead, Mark.
My mental note, I'm probably never going to fly an approach with you then.
I want to say, and I mean this in all sincerity, congratulations. I think it's freaking awesome that you did that. You got your the fundamentals of instruction out. Good on you.
Yeah. Well,
I haven't been flying at all because the weather's stunk. So you're
it's so bad.
10 times more productive than I've been over the last 2 weeks.
Well, this is the perfect time of year to just,
do 100%.
Study things or whatever. And December, honestly, with as many disruptions as there are anyway, it actually has been kind of perfect time. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to see if I can get my commercial and AGI done in the next 2 weeks. Yeah. And just, I just want to have as many possible written tests out of my life as humanly possible, as fast as possible. And also, I'm in the role. I'm on a roll of studying, and the sponginess of my brain is kind of working at the moment. So I kind of just don't want to because once I let this down, there's
something
a long time to raise it.
That concrete is going to start setting, and when it does, that's it. Yeah,
that's right. So anyway, but I appreciate it.
Working time. Yeah. I want to hit a couple comments here. Rich says, if you don't want to go to the FISDO, wait till your instrument check ride and have the DPE do it with your check ride. So there's a suggestion. Our friend Elliot Cox is wondering if the ground instructor certificates have to be renewed every year or two, like CFI certificates do.
Negative.
Okay. You say negative, and Rich also says it sounds like you have to exercise it, according to Rich.
Well, that's where the FOI kind of comes in, I think.
Yeah. Well, or you have to teach something within the year or 2 years, which is not.
Just call me and teach me stuff, and I'll sign you off.
So I'll be able to give endorsements
on a podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be able to give endorsements for.
To take the written, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mark, you had a question or something too.
I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Well, let's go ahead and remind everybody about our next big fly-in. It is going to be, we're calling it the Thaden Invasion, March 13th through the 15th, 2026 at Bentonville, Arkansas. That is Victor Bravo Tango for all you pilots out there. Again, March 13th through the 15th. We're still moving along. The RSVP is on our website at midlifepilotpodcast.com. And I got to tell you, boys, we've gotten a really strong response so far. I know it's just RSVPs. It's still a long way out, but the initial response has been fantastic.
We're already at that point where if half of the RSVPs show up, we're going to have a real good time.
And if any more than half show up, it'll be a disaster. So.
Fine line.
There's like this sweet spot, right? It's like there are not enough, and so it's terrible, and there are too many, and it's terrible. So it's yeah.
Very good. So back to Mark's dilemma. He's going to have this brand new shiny composite airplane with this really nice avionics stack in there. And he's going to have a really low fuel burn, and he's going to, have a nice 2-seater with a retractable gear.
No gas in the floorboard with your
gas in the floorboard.
Yeah. Well, I am responsible for building some of this, so we can't rule that out yet.
But it should be theoretically damn-it proof.
Theoretically. So back to the initial question, Mark. Where are you going to put that sucker?
So right now, I'm going to have to put it in tie downs. And my plan, because it's a composite and because there's a risk of delamination with too much exposure to UV radiation, I have to get a whole airplane cover while I wait on patiently in multiple waiting lists for hangars. I started off 4 years ago on a waiting list at Concord, and in the first year I moved up from 21 to 11, and then in the second year I moved up from 11 to 6. I stayed in 6 for 2 years, and this year I have moved up to number 5. So I had AI do some estimates of how long at that trend it was going to take before I get to the front of the list, and the estimate is 2038. So
right when I've got a little bit. The Sparker.
Yeah, it was like, look, 2 years after the end of the heat death of the universe.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but Mark, you have a rant for us? Is that correct? Or was that? Sorry,
there's no pre-canned
No.
rant. Yeah.
I did not record the rant. I just wrote the rant and then didn't record it because
you're living the rant.
Yeah, you guys said, well, no, why don't you come on the podcast and just rant in live instead of recording?
Yeah.
Well, so I have a question for you, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I didn't realize that this thing would melt in the sun. So that is kind of wild. Now, to what extent you are a partner in a 235?
Mm-hmm.
You could fly the 235 to get to your hangar and
in someplace else. Yes, that is. So a friend of mine recently bought a Tomahawk, and placed it at a airport not too far from me, an airport that shall remain unnamed. But that airport, he got in a hangar after 6 months on the wait list, because that airport is actually enforcing the agreement that says you have to have an active airplane flying. And so they every so often will kick somebody out saying, hey, your airplane isn't flying. This van that you have in this hangar is not an airplane, right? They basically are enforcing it. So that particular airport, I will, as soon as I have an airplane to like place somewhere, and
right.
I will put myself on their waiting list, but I can't put myself on their waiting list until I have an airplane.
How far is that from your house?
It's about the same distance as Stanley County is, where the 235 is. So
yeah, what is the so you've done a lot of research about availability, wait lists, and all this relative to your location, I know. So let's just imagine right now that the plane is assembled and in your driveway right now or whatever. It's your local airport, unhangared, and you want this thing. You have to go find, tomorrow you're going to go get in the plane and fly until you can land at an airport where they say, we've got a hangar right here for you. Where is that airport?
There are some halfway between here and the beach with a populations measured in the hundreds. Mm-hmm. So my wife is not exactly a fan of that option. But they're outside of my willingness to drive that far to get to the airplane. They're just too far.
And so that's the same boat I'm in. And that there's a YouTuber, and I can't think of his name, but he's out of the Detroit area, and he is a far way away. He has a Cirrus, and he, like, half his videos are him flying back to his home airport or his airport where his wife meets him so he can pick her up, because the drive to the hangar where he keeps it is so far away. We're in the same boat here in Atlanta. I have 2 hangars that I could get to tomorrow, but it's a 2-hour drive. And, well, technically speaking, it's about 70 miles, but you have to cross to the other side of Atlanta, which makes it 2 hours. So that's part of the issue. Go ahead. No.
So part of the consideration for me is, at some point, my children are going to move out of the house. Well, I mean, theoretically, at some point, they're going to move out of the house. And at that point, I know that my wife does not want to live in this large of a house. And so we will probably move. And she already knows that where we will move to, we are going to try and find it someplace that's close to an airport that I can hangar the airplane.
Have you shown her hangar homes and hangar apartments and hangar condos? Is that possibly an option? Yeah. I'm guessing
I have talked about it nonstop, and that is not an option. That is not something she wants.
She used to walk through the big one near us that is pretty cool. But yeah.
Well, but realistically, it's also more reasonable to live closer to, rather than live on an air park, it's more reasonable to live closer to a decent sized airport, and just, with a ton more facilities, with instrument approaches, with, all kinds of stuff that exists, as opposed to what's at the air park, which is almost nothing. Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
We have our name on a list in Cartersville. We were there for about a 6-month period when my brother-in-law's friend sold his airplane and was in between airplanes. He let us put ours in theirs. I'd like to see more airports start policing their hangars a lot closer.
Oh man, yeah.
Like what you're talking about, what they did. It's just infuriating when you go to an airport and you see was for a while a company that was operating a car detailing business out of one of the hangars.
Yeah. I see one down from me that's basically just full of junk storage, right? It's like there's a couple cars and a lot of boxes of stuff not even a plane, right? Like, yeah.
I was going to say, Ted, that's a Piper Cherokee, and I take offense.
I just thought
that was Brian's
garbage.
plane. What are you talking about?
Riff raff, get out of here.
It'll fly again eventually.
Yeah.
But no, I again, it's the age old question is just they've got to get this stuff worked out.
Yeah.
I often think.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Ben, I often think about, because I'm close enough to you to where I have a sense of the weather patterns that come through and that you're experiencing also. But we both are in thunderstorm central and all of that, and a place it gets really cold in these places too, and I think about your situation all the time, especially in the summer. Because I always put myself in the mindset of if my plane were at the hangar, tied down out here right now, I would be losing my mind.
Yeah.
You have a very even keel mindset. I've asked you about this before. You said basically more or less like that's what insurance is for. You can't control it.
I can't do it. I can sit here and stress about tomorrow morning. I've got to get up really early to go fly. And it's going to be 30 degrees. And so, I'm going to turn the prop through. I know Mark doesn't like that when I do that, but I'm going to get that oil moving a little bit. And you know what? It's just, there's no other way around it. So,
well, I'm going to have to start doing that because that is part of the official Rotax burping the engine thing.
Yeah,
yes. That's right.
Yeah. By the way, I think it's fantastic that, you in your mind can just go, well, hey, whatever happens. I can't, you're so even about it. Imagine that you went to Prague to build every single little piece of that plane and you were intimately familiar with everything. It's your blood, sweat, and tears in every minute detail and choice and everything of the entire plane. Would that change your consciousness about it just sitting out there?
So I've got an ace up my sleeve. I'm in a slightly different situation than Mark is. There are 4 completely separate air parks on the south side of Atlanta, near where my wife's sister lives. And the real estate is very reasonable there. Houses may need some updating, but I can live with that. I can do that myself. So, there is an end game to this. There will be. And
that's the sister.
Not that there's going to be me putting my blood, sweat, and tears into building an airplane, because I can promise you that's not going to happen anytime soon. I respect the people that do it. Don't get me wrong. That's just not for me.
No, that's the sister whose husband owns the other half of the plane.
No, not different sister. It's on Terry's side of the family.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So. But it's her side of the family, which is kind of the critical piece of that puzzle. So,
yeah.
So there's plans there. I don't know that she really knows about these plans, but it's okay because she doesn't listen to the podcast.
So what I think a lot of people don't realize is, like, we're talking about this whole thing about policing the hangars and stuff. Airports are much like interstate highways, where they're built by the states, but they're built with federal money. And so the way that the feds get control over things is by attaching what they want to happen to the money. So it's like, hey, you can improve your airport, but if you do, everything on it needs to be related to aviation. And here's what that means. So that's why you hear about airports that cities are trying to shut down and they realize they can't because it's obligated by federal funds.
Right.
And specifically, the hangar use policies came out about, last revision was like 2016. And it's like, it needs to be, they don't define everything very specifically, but it needs to be aviation use. Basically, the planes need to be active. And the definition of active is it can be down for its annual, but it can't be stored for 5 years, kind of is what they imply. Specifically, they say in there, hey, you can store a car in there if it's the car that you drove to the airport and you're just storing it while the plane's out flying. Like, they're very clear that it should be all aviation related. And of course, we all know most airports don't do any policing of that or anything else. Mm-hmm. And it's so unfortunate because the real estate is just so narrow. I mean, it's like if I have an auto detailing business, I can rent space anywhere. I just might choose to do it at the airport because that land is subsidized. So it's cheaper rent.
That's right.
If you have an airplane, you don't have a choice, right? You can't just go across the street. You are tied to that. And the FAA is even very specific about that. It's like, hey, it's okay to have, if there's nobody else that wants to use it for aviation, you can use it for non-aviation things. Just make sure the rent isn't subsidized, and basically make sure that it's short term, like month to month leases, not long term things you get into. So they're so clear on what it needs to be, and then nobody like follows it. Like it's just
Well, I wanted to hit our friend Elliot, his comment. He said, I used to keep my drum kit and PA in my hangar for band practice. We were the second worst noise that came out of there. And then our friend Peter asked him what was the first, and Elliot said when the singer warmed up. So
that's kind of a double entendre because I thought he meant you.
I profess that I could not carry a tune if you strapped it on my back, despite what my last name is.
Yes.
So, what are the takeaways here for hangars? Put your name on a list, cross your fingers, hope for the best, I guess.
So if whoever came here to listen to this podcast to be uplifted and feel hope.
Yep. It's a 12-minute episode, there you go. Sign up for a list. See ya.
Cross your fingers. Good luck. And if you want to build a plane, maybe go to Prague. That's all we got for you, folks.
Sign up your children for a hangar.
There you go.
That is put your children's names on wait lists.
You say that I'm even keeled about this, but I think the bitterness of being outside for the last 5 years is really starting to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is some jadedness going on there.
On the other hand, there are a few people in our Discord who talk about how frequently hangars come available where they live, and it is difficult not to get mad at them. It is really difficult to not be like, come on.
It's okay, but feast or famine.
You can move there. You can live in where the place is. You choose to live where you are, and that comes with.
Stop being so rational. Yeah. I much more enjoy being angry.
Yeah.
I'm a victim here.
Usually there's high correlation between cost of living and hangar availability, but you just broke that on spending more for the plane than on your house. So
true.
Well,
very cool.
Hey, we've got a couple of feedbacks that I see in the sheet here. Maybe we just do one, and then the longer one we save for next week.
I like it.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Because it sort of warrants a little bit of discussion too. That
I agree.
Truncate. All right, so I think I've successfully interrupted everything, right? Okay, great. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're actually running short because we ran late. Yeah, that was my fault. Technical difficulties. But it allowed me to hear Mark's news for the first time for real, so that was worth it. All right, listener feedback from Juliet Sierra Hotel. I guess we can just say, it's Stuart. We'll say Stuart, right? Okay.
That is correct.
Guys, happy Thanksgiving. So you can see how caught up we are. Okay, that's good. All right. Guys, happy Thanksgiving. My name is John H. I'm over in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I'm a longtime listener and recent show supporter. I'm a 55-year-old instrument-rated pilot, private pilot, currently working on my commercial rating. I started flying at age 50 privately. What does that mean?
He started as a private pilot.
Well, continue.
Okay, I thought it was going to be
military flight.
Privately, I'm 50. God, sorry, I already just read it.
He just outed him.
I served in the Louisiana Air National Guard and in the Virginia Air National Guard. I was a flight surgeon to the F-15 and F-16 squadrons, respectively. I got to fly in the back of both jets, highlights of my life. I served with Deacon Qualls in Louisiana. He's a super stand-up guy. He now flies 777s for American and has recently written a book geared to those and all aspects of flight training with a lifetime of highly condensed advice. That's my favorite kind. Like most fast jet guys, he has a ton of great stories. I think he would make an excellent guest for your show. The proceeds from his books are going to support scholarships for those studying aviation. Keep up the great show. Also, Brian, I would love to catch you sometime when in Nashville for a quick dinner, and or I am happy to pick you up in Cape Girardeau sometime and show you a decent restaurant. All the best, Stuart. Thank you, Stuart. And I love Cape Girardeau is a really neat place. And if anybody's in this part of the country, it's CGI is the airport. They actually have a decent little restaurant on the field, and it's a great airport. I like going out that way because when you go into Missouri and all that, it's like you haven't flown that far from Nashville. You've maybe been flying for an hour and you have really gone somewhere else. The terrain is totally Mississippi Delta kind of flat, totally different terrain. It's really neat. So anyway, I love all this. Thanks for the recommendation. Also, it does sound like a really interesting guy. And good luck for the training.
The book by Roy, I can't even say that word. Roy Deacon Qualls is Pilot's Edge. Think, train, and fly like a pro. So there's a free plug. We get nothing for that, but it sounds like an interesting book.
Yeah. I like the idea that people are writing in and offering to come to where we are and feed us dinner. So this is great. If you're ever around Nashville, coming to John Tune or something, or B&A, give a shot.
Yeah. Or Atlanta.
Yeah. You got a steakhouse on your airport.
We got a steakhouse on our field. So
man,
it's only open like 4 days a week. So make sure you time that right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess
cool.
Do we have time?
If you go there in Atlanta, then you get to see the hangar that has a notch out of the top of it. It's one of those like, oops, we need to put a bigger plane in this than the hangar was designed for. So speaking of our hangar thing, sometimes you're like, well, I've got the hangar. The plane doesn't fit, but we can fix that. So, yeah.
Hey, Mark. That's Tyler Perry's plane that they had to do that for. So,
hey, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Are you unmuted? Oh, good. Before we go, I would like to pick your brain a little bit about, I love the idea that you're going for your A&P and building this plane and endeavoring to all of that. I think it's so perfect. I'm so excited for you, man. Truly. What would you say to those who are maybe on the verge of getting a hangar, other than the requisite go F your
after that,
as a once you've reconciled with your rage,
as my friends say, good for you. You just think about that GFY.
In the South, we say bless your heart.
Exactly.
GFY. Oh my gosh. That's
good
fantastic.
For you. Yes. Yeah.
So my question to you, Mark, is this hangar exists in your mind. I know it already exists, and I know that you've already outfitted it and put everything in there that you already know how it would be laid out. You already know that it's a T hangar. You already know the dimensions. You already know it's an electric door. You already know that there's power running to it. You know everything. You've seen all this. It's in your mind's eye. I just want you to share with the group here. What would you have in your hangar, and what do you sort of see that other people have that you like that they have in their hangar that you think is useful or pragmatic or smart or good? And then what things do you see in hangars where you're like, I'm just not going to bother with that?
I am not going to bother with a couch. I am not going to bother. I will put a refrigerator in there for fluids, but mostly tools practical to keeping the airplane up. So a portable heater, a way of charging the battery, lights, and the toolkits. That's what I envision in the hangar is just a practical, very, very practical. I would love to be as ambitious as Alyssa is with her hangar, but I know myself better than that. I'm not that ambitious.
Alyssa's hangar is like out of a TV show where it's like MTV Cribs, show us your hangar. It's like everything's color coordinated, and I don't know.
And it's heated, and she could sleep there if she needs to.
There's probably carpet in there. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, probably.
My only question is it going to be a best tugs, or is this going to be a tug that you make yourself? What's going to pull your airplane in and out?
This is a very light airplane compared to my current airplane.
Okay.
Right.
The empty weight is about 1,000 pounds. So
yeah, but if it's slanted for drainage,
it's small wheels.
True. I mean, right now I push the airplane around without a tug. I will cross that bridge when I get to it. I don't have any need for a tug at the moment.
Okay.
Well, you're going to need to be able to test your gear. So
yep, that's true.
Jacks,
100% jacks. And there's actually supposed to be a custom tool that you need to make in order to jack up the front nose gear. So the current guy who has one of these airplanes is working with the manufacturer of the airplane to make one for him, and I will of course get in line for that.
How many of these are in the US?
3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to keep a 6-foot step ladder in my hangar because you take that and a little foam pad and then you lift the wing onto the step ladder and then you can change a tire. And because it is just the correct height for that. I am puny. I always had trouble lifting it onto that ladder. I think it's slightly worse with the Tundra tires, but that's just me because I'm puny. So I went and I bought a engine hoist, and then I made a laminated plywood bracket that goes on top of the engine hoist that has the exact curve on my wing, so I can bring the hoist up to it and then just push upward on the engine hoist. So you're not lifting an engine, you're pushing upward on the wing. The engine hoist says right on it, not for aviation use, which is hilarious to me. But I've done that and I've left it up. I've left it lifted on that for like 2 weeks without it worrying about it falling. I had backups in case it did fall. But so those are the sort of things you can put in a hangar where it's like, how would you do that otherwise? You're going to bring a ladder from home. You're going to lift it by hand. You're going to struggle, like that type of thing. Those are the things that are so nice to have in a hangar. And extra parts. Yeah, I just love it. But I also live in a tiny house in the city, so I don't have space to store things.
If anybody in the chat has questions for TJ Hooker Mark, formerly Mogas Mark, still Mogas Mark.
Well, actually, that is one of the things, like the airports that I'm calling around, I'm asking, what is the policy that you have on Mogas? And so far, the 2 that I've spoken to are, as long as you do it by the self-serve area and ground it, it's fine. So
it sounds like they're just giving you bathroom instructions.
Well, if that's their policy, I'm not going to talk about mine then. I've only pumped gas into it when I've been remote. Like 90% of my gas is stuff that I bring in cans. And I'm not going to the fuel area. We'll put it that way.
No, I did that for the 140. I did that for a long time and much to the shock of
Yes.
Brian. Brian was like, "You did what?"
Well, you also had the airport get in your case about bringing MoGas in.
I did. I went and asked them for permission first, and I asked the FBO about, hey, can I pump MoGas? And they're like, yes, you can pump it in the wash base or the wash. There's a little covered area where the wash rack where you can wash your airplane. And they're like, just do it there. I'm like, okay. So I did it there, and then I got a letter from the airport saying, what are you doing? I said, well, I did it because I have permission. They're like, yeah, we're gonna have to talk to the fire chief. That's not okay. But for probably a year, I basically took 2 14-gallon tanks, put MoGas at the, there was a unleaded, ethanol-free, gas station about 3 miles from the airport that I would drive there, fill up the 14-gallon tanks, both of them, and then the airport would tow my airplane into the wash basin, and then I would pump it there. I'd just use those tanks and pump it there.
Do you ever think, Mark, that it's possible that the sort of karmically, in terms of you getting a hangar, that if you let's just rewind your aviation story so far, like you're a wholesale menace in every capacity to an airport.
It has in fact crossed my mind that the interaction that I had with them.
Have you almost burned down airports? Yes. Have you run into stuff at airport? Like, whatever.
Well, you got the AOPA involved.
I did.
Speaking of this whole thing about there being clauses that hangars be used for aviation purposes, in that are also clauses that you have to allow fuel, and so the AOPA got involved to encourage this airport to read their requirements.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I very gently brought that up. I did not actually involve any lawyers. I just said, hey, this is my understanding of the rules. Is that I would like to know if there is any capacity you have for me to follow those rules within your constraints, because you have some degree of putting on safety constraints on there, and that's fine. And that's what can I do to follow that? And they basically gave me a list of rules that said you have to be 75 feet away from any structure, and it has to be grounded, and you have to be within 75 feet of one of the airport fire suppression tanks, the fire tanks, which are 10 feet away from all of the structures. So that creates this tiny little sliver where I can fuel the airplane, but I can't ground it. Right?
Yes.
And so it became impractical. And eventually I sold that airplane and moved to inherited a hangar with the airplane that I bought. So
one advantage of a hangar is they don't know you're fueling it if the doors are closed.
Well, the other thing is that this other airport, I mean, could I just smoke my cigar while you're sitting there? Are there any rules written about that? I mean, they take all these precautions, but they can't
actually
account
smoking
for
is
everything that's under
required.
the sun. That's right.
Smoking is required.
Yeah, smoking is required. You have to do that.
And look, the fact of the matter is that I tried to be as nice about it as possible. I tried not to be a menace. I tried to say, look, I want to follow the rules. I tried to follow the rules. I'm not, but on the other hand, I've been on the waiting list for 4 years. So who knows?
So what you're saying is you don't want to be that guy while you're being that guy.
Correct. I want to be a little that guy, just not all the way.
Gotcha.
I just think this is so. I really hope that we're trying to do some relationship building at Victor Bravo Tango for our fly-in that we're doing in March.
So now you're saying I shouldn't come. That's what you're saying?
I'm just saying. Let's just hope they don't go this deep into this episode.
All I'm going to say, Mark, is don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
Yes.
That's all we're saying. You do what you want to do, just don't ask the questions. I want to take a minute really to remind everybody, leave us a 5-star review. We really appreciate it. It goes a long way in helping us. Don't forget to subscribe on your podcast app. And, check us out, midlifepilotpodcast.com. Check out the merch store. The shirts are still flying off the shelf. Keep that going. Anything else, gentlemen? All three of you, for the good of the order.
No, I'm good. Super stoked for you, Mark, and thanks for coming on.
Congratulations,
No, thanks
Mark.
for having me on.
I just have to bring out the quote, combining pragmatism with absolute lunacy. So thanks, Brian, for describing Mark in that way.
That's no better way to describe it. Tonight's bit of wisdom is for the IFR students. Ask an IFR student how they feel. They'll say vectors, mostly. Signing off, episode 158 of the Midlife Pilot Podcast. Goodbye, everybody.